Wamakin. All praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Honors and salutations to you brothers out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. And well, this is you see the lesson in the title. And yes, this lesson was spurred by a conversation that the brotherhood had amongst itself. We ain't gonna give no details in it, but this message is pretty much gonna be what it is: bridle thy tongue or kindle a fire. And this is just basically to let brothers know when to hold your peace. What is that saying? Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You know, kind of. Yeah, know when to hold them. That's that old poker saying. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. That's the same thing with your tongue. Basically, knowing when to speak, knowing when not to speak. You know what I'm saying? Knowing when to say something in season, and knowing when to let something go. You know what I'm saying?
And taking heed as to what you speak.
Taking heed as to what you speak. Because what you say can, the way you word things also can be just as important as what you say, or saying it in a season. So, without further ado, brothers, go ahead and get y'all scriptures. I'm going to grab a couple as well.
This is Proverbs chapter 17, verse 14. The beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water, therefore leave off contention before it be meddled with.
Right, leave off contention before it be meddled, before one letteth off water. What is it the Lord said? If you got this knowledge, you will have rivers of living water. So the water is talking about the speech. So before you let off that water, man, if it's gonna cause contention, let it not be meddled with. If it's not important, You read it again.
Proverbs 17 and 14. The beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water, therefore leave off contention before it be meddled with.
Right. So the beginning of strife is when one letteth off water. The beginning of strife is gonna come from your speech. So if it's some strife and shit, if it's some strife in your words, then hey, let it not be said, man.
I got something. This is the definition for fight or flight. It says the fight or flight response, also known as the acute stress response, refers to a psychological reaction that occurs in the presence of something that is terrifying, either mentally or physically. The response is triggered by the release of the hormone that prepares your body to either stay or deal with the threat or to run away to safety. The term fight or flight represents the choices that our ancient ancestors had when faced with danger in their environment.
Right.
And a response, because they also have it where people are getting high blood pressure, hypertension, and shit like that, right? Because your body is reacting to this food in a fight or flight response. It's activating that same hormone, right? And you get into a stressful situation, you have to know when to fight or flight. All right? Because the flight don't necessarily in every situation mean that you ran the fuck away for something, because you were fearing that your ass was going to get killed. You actually being a bigger man than something and leaving it be, because you caused unnecessary strife and stress in yourself and others around.
And this is Ecclesiastes chapter 20, verse 1. There is a reproof that is not comely. Again, some man holdeth his tongue, and he is wise. I mean, that's just straightforward. Some man holdeth his tongue, and he is wise. There's a reproof that is not comely. Not every matter has to be reproved. Not every matter is important enough to be reproved. You know what I'm saying? It actually goes back to that scripture in Ecclesiastes. If y'all got something, go ahead. I'm going to get this scripture in Ecclesiastes as well. But yeah, it goes to that scripture in Ecclesiastes, being not wise over much, because when you overwise, you tend to say things that ain't even necessary, or you'll bring up things that's not necessary. So it goes to watching, the things that you say.
Proverbs 21 and 23. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles.
Right. Keeping his mouth, keeping his tongue, keeping his soul from troubles, man. Because the mouth, your words can start a great fire. It can destroy shit, man. Your words can destroy whole kingdoms, man. And it can destroy friendships as well. So you're supposed to, bridle your tongue. Watch your words, man. Watch what you say. Watch how you say it, and weigh in the balance what needs to be said or if it doesn't need to be said, if it's important or not. Be not wise over much. You don't have to be the most righteous Israelite in Israel. You know what I'm saying? But if a matter needs to be reproved, and it's and yes, if it has to be reproved, then you have to say it.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 16. Be not righteous over much.
There you go. Be not righteous over much. Because when you over righteous, you better understand that the Lord is gonna get you for all this. You know what I'm saying? You want it to be a judge over all types of shit, okay? And the Lord is gonna judge you over all this stuff too, man. Remember, we still aren't. We still. This is a grace period to get it right. Don't get me wrong. But some things being over righteous is like, man, some things is not that important.
Right, you got. I mean, shit.
You gotta weigh it.
Shit go, man.
Yeah, you gotta weigh it in. Yeah, consider what it is and weigh it in the balance if it's important or not.
Not to mention, you gotta consider how much patience others have with yourself, even the Most High with us. Most High have a lot of patience and mercy for us. So we understand that shit builds up because of this flesh. But like I said, it's better to have open rebuke than secret love.
The scripture says it's better to have what is it? Shit, I got it.
Be not over righteous over much. Be not righteous over much. Neither make thyself over wise.
Right.
Why shouldst thou destroy thyself?
Right. Why should thou destroy thyself, man? You destroy yourself being over righteous, man. This is Sirach 20 and 2, which is the next scripture down from holding your tongue. It is much better to reprove than to be angry secretly, and he that confesses his fault shall be preserved from hurt. In other words, don't be secretly angry, but he that confesses his faults shall be shall be removed from hurt, shall be preserved from hurt. Remember, you got faults as well, man. You always got to remember that. What did the Lord say? In a time of prosperity, think of poverty. In the time of in the time of being fed, think of famine. You know what I'm saying? Balance yourself out. If you're thinking of somebody else's fault, first think of your own, man. First consider your own faults. You weigh things in the balance. That's what bridling your tongue is all about. Is weighing it in the balance.
I got a quick precept.
Okay.
This is Proverbs 28 and 25. He that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife, but he that putteth his trust in the Lord shall be made fat.
Mm-hmm.
So, pretty much when a person is puffed up, they have pride in them. They can pretty much, go to cause strife and contention with people because it's usually when they come to a point of feeling themselves. Like, oh, I done reached a certain level in this truth, so I think I'm over this brother, or I think this brother ain't on my level, so I can come at him and however I feel like.
A lot of the times it comes from cats looking at brothers and seeing their actual faults, thinking that since you don't have these faults or any that you can come to mind, that you're in good condition. Yet when somebody that part of that open rebuke is someone telling you your faults and you actually accepting it. Yes, I know I'm bad with time. When it come down to get something done for the brothers or for the brotherhood, I'm on time. Even if you come out to these works and you do these works late, hey man, one man don't stop that show is still gonna go on. His word is still gonna be pushed. You know, yet, hey, you gotta consider every man's responsibility isn't the same as the next. But the main key word is responsibility, and handling your responsibility is a necessary thing in this truth. Right? It's a must. Because when you let something sit for a while, it exasperates like a wound. Like causing further trouble to a wound. It's gonna grow and it's gonna get worse, it's gonna get infected. And guess what? You might lose that limb. That's the same thing with losing a brother. Or even losing somebody that's close to you. Because of your own words and actions.
If y'all have anything else. I'm looking for a certain scripture that says basically that the mouth of the wise is in his heart, roughly paraphrasing. Basically, it's the mouth of the wise is in his heart. Basically, it's in Sirach. It might be in Proverbs. It's in one of the two, but you know, it's either I believe it's in Sirach. But something about the mouth of the wise is in his heart. Basically, it's a scripture. Basically, a scripture that breaks down as think before you speak. Lord willing, I find the scripture. But yeah, the mouth of the wise is in his heart, man. You got to think before you speak, man. Weigh your words in the balance, man. Is it worthy to be brought out, or is this reproof not even, is this reproof being overwise, man? Remember, we all sinners at the end of the day, man. We all sinners at the end of the day. We all are getting mercy, the tongue of the wise. I know I'm not saying it. I know I'm not saying it right, though. I know I'm not saying it right, but it's something like that.
Oh, all right. You got that out?
Kind of. This is James 3:2. For in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body.
Right. You're able to bridle the whole body, discipline your whole body, if you're able to not offend in your words, man.
Right, because you can discipline your physique all you want to. You can discipline your body all you want to. And it's truth. And discipline our tongue, that's a very hard thing. It's not exactly a regimen that is recommended that you go on outside of remaining silent as much, in certain situations.
Right. It's not about remaining silent. It's weighing your words in the balance, or weighing what needs to be said in the balance.
Well, no. I only say that in the sense that it says that a fool that remains that holdeth his tongue is thought to be wise, right?
Kind.
Because if you feel in a situation where you would normally say something or exercise yourself in something, you would, and when it all is executed, you would actually consider that and do the opposite. Not what you usually do. If you usually feel like you should say something, I would do this in that situation and shit, then you probably should be quiet.
Right, because when you think about it, not everybody, like, we don't really talk to people about the scriptures no more. Why? Because they don't want to hear it. No. And you can see that just by looking at a person if they gonna take heed or not. It's like we don't, in our everyday lives, we barely talk to people. Why? We weighing our words in the balance.
Right.
Oh sister, you shouldn't be wearing that. You should be wearing a dress.
What?
Yeah. Why tell a bitch that when all you gonna get is strife and contention from these bitches?
Right. Just be
so
on the
you
bus
weigh,
and tell her some shit like that.
So you just weigh your words in the balance. Why even speak to them? That's just like speaking the scriptures to a man that says he's an atheist, man. Why speak to the man? He already let it be known that he don't believe. Okay, you can walk down the street. Let's agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hate that.
Yeah, this is a matter going back to being lifted up with pride as well.
Con.
This is Proverbs 30, verse 32. If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, meaning being stirred up with pride, you feeling yourself and can't nobody tell you shit pretty much.
Right.
Or if thou hast thought evil, lay thy hand upon thy mouth.
Right.
Because
In other words,
if you got wickedness in your heart towards a brother, you know, and pretty much you got those wicked thoughts stored up in your mind, then once you have an occasion to let it out, and you let it out, that's the end as far as you know, whatever friendship
James 3.
you know you and that brother may have had.
Yeah,
You know?
You got that James 3.
Oh, you
Kind of, yeah. I still got James 3.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know it's hard to win a brother back once you've offended him.
Correct.
Especially if you saw occasion to offend this brother.
Correct.
You know?
I mean, that can be a very difficult thing, man. You know, so you basically you watch what you say, you watch your words, and then when you say something, I mean that should help discipline your words. You know.
This I got to select. So Rock 4 and 9, 4 and 4:29. Sirach 4 and 29. Be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack.
Right there is something big. Be not hasty in thy tongue. Don't speak every damn thing that come to your mind ain't right, man. Don't speak everything that come to your mind. You hold your peace until it's opportune, man. Hold your peace. Ponder what you're gonna say, or ponder your words, ponder your speech. Because when you hasty, hey, you gonna say some shit, and it's gonna destroy some shit, man. Oh, I just got to tell you this. I got to say this. Man.
I gotta make it a point
to
let you know that this.
Exactly. I have to make it a point to let you know this. All right, you go. Oh, so you feel this way,
so make it an issue.
Right. Exactly. This is how I feel about you. Then, you know, them arguments that go nowhere. Be not hasty with your tongue. That also goes into thinking before speaking, man.
Sirach 5 and 13. Honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of man is his fall.
Right. Honor and shame is in talk, man.
And read that last part one more time.
This is Sirach 5 and 13. It says, honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of man is his fall.
Yeah, the tongue of man is his fall, but honor and shame is in your talk. So however you present yourself in your speech can show what the kind of person that you really are, because out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks.
Mm-hmm.
Whether if you have something, whether you say something, you know, basically with malice or ill content towards somebody, or if it's actually genuine, you know.
And a lot of the times you don't have to. It's the way you say something.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you say something and the brother take offense, it's not because you feel like something isn't manly or something isn't handled in a certain fashion. It's got to be the latter thing.
That's some sucker shit.
No,
that's some pussy ass shit.
Because when you offend,
in other words, man, you being a little bitch, man.
But when your tongue offends somebody that's close to you, consider what you have said.
Right.
Not just up in your feelings and you saying that this may be that or what have you. You gotta consider what you may have said, because if you offend somebody, they felt vibration behind what you said. I don't care if you said, you want some cookies, brother? You want some cookies, brother?
Right.
Shit.
Right.
These cookies, man.
Right.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Your body, because every word has a vibration, and your body is made up of 60%, 65% saline, which is salt water, salt, minerals, and liquid. All right. We pick up vibrations. So somebody, I don't care how you say it, how you do it.
So if it was laced with malicious intent, that's pretty much where you're going with the
because
a spirit can sense that.
Yes. Why? Because we've had. Well, let me get it right here.
Emergency precept.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Sirach 27 and 7. Praise no man before thou hearest him speak, for this is the trial of men. So the trial of men is in their speech, man. So what? You want to watch your tongue while you're in these trials, man. You want to watch the things that you say. You know, because that's his trial. That's a man's trial. You know.
Either that or learn to shut the fuck up.
Hey, and that'll make you that would make you a considerably wise man when you learn just to shut the fuck up. Honestly, because that's bridling your tongue. Even if a man is silent, it is considered to him to be wise. You know, he bridling his tongue. He thinking about shit. His tongue is in his heart. In other words, he's reasoning in his mind, man. A man's reasoning should always be in your heart first, and then you speak. Because if you reasoning wrong, then hey, your tongue can kindle that fire. You know, bridle your tongue or kindle the fire, man.
I got that James 3. James 3. You know what? The second verse may need to be said again. I'll just James 3 and 2. For in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body.
So wait, who are you to say that you didn't offend somebody? That shit is crazy. If I get offended by something somebody say, I'm offended because that's how I'm feeling. And that don't even have to be caught up in my feelings because it could be something behind that that I perceive. You understand? Even if you don't perceive it yourself.
Behold, we put bits in the horses' mouths that they may obey us, and we turn about their whole body.
Right. We put bits in the horses' mouths that they may obey us. In other words, watch what you say. We put bits in the horse's mouth and turn the whole body, man. Because what you say can turn a person's whole mentality. You know, their whole thought process about you can come from what you say. And that's where that parable is going back to. We put a bit in a horse's mouth and turn the whole body. When we speak in these words, we can either turn a man left or right. You know, turn a man to righteousness or turn a man to wickedness. You know, so you got to watch your speech. You know. I mean, if you put a bit in the horse's mouth and you yank his shit, you might yank a few teeth out and then the horse gonna become wild on you, man. So the way you pull him is a certain way, man, you know?
It says, even, verse 4, behold also the ships which though they be so great and are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor listeth.
Right. A very small helm is turning this big ass ship. You got this little wheel that a man is controlling, but this ship is big as a motherfucking block, man. But this little helm in front of the ship with the captain is controlling is what's turning the ship about. It's just like your tongue. It's just like your mouth. Mouth is a small member, man. Tongue is a small member, but its speech can turn about men's souls, man. It can turn governments, as we well know. It can destroy governments, as we well know.
And the tongue is a fire and a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell.
It set on fire the course of nature. The tongue sets fires.
Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
How is it setting on fire a whole soul of man? Just by saying something like, it's okay to be gay. That's a fire that's what destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. That's one of the things that's destroying America. As a matter of fact, what did it say? Just saying that we the Israelites is turning about this nation, man. You know, so your tongue can start a small fire. Earlier, me and the brother was talking about the perception of good and evil. Everybody else thinks we're the evil ones, but of course we know, because we know the truth. We know that they're the evil ones, thinking that they the good guys.
Right, because the bad guy don't never think that they bad and shit.
The bad guy don't think that they the bad guy.
They just have an opposing opinion.
Exactly. Their perception of reality is different than yours. That's the perception of good and evil.
Well,
Only
every
we.
man seemeth just in his own cause.
Con, every man seemeth just in his own cause. How do we know that we good? Because we're following the creator of things. The creator of everything knows good and evil. Why? He created everything. So it's him that makes good and evil. But in this world, in this kingdom, good and evil is in the perception of man's heart. So they actually believe, that's why the rest of the world can believe that we're the evil ones, and they believe that they're the good ones. Even though we're explaining, the creator of things says we're the good ones. So that tongue can start a whole fire just by calling the rest of the world evil. So the tongue is a fire. And it's one of the smallest of our members. Watch your tongue. Bridle your tongue. Season your tongue. It's lucky,
Proverbs 18 and 20. Actually, I started 19. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like the bars of a castle.
In other words, once you offend a brother is standoffish against you.
Well, that doesn't mean how much more many brothers.
How much more, yeah, if you offend many brothers by not bridling your tongue, man. You got to bridle your tongue. Or you offend brothers will be standoffish against you. Oh man, yeah, he's a brother, but I don't really like to be around the brother too much now, Why? Because he offends you too much, He offends in small matters, you know what I'm saying? He offends in great matters. He reproves when there's no need to reprove,
That's harnessing
something. Goes back to that pride.
You
harnessing something in your heart.
He that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife. You going about taking it upon yourself to mention something that really ain't even a big issue. All because of your ego.
Because we're not saying don't reprove brothers. Reproof is necessary. What is thou shalt in no wise cause your brother to sin, or even allow your brother to sin. But in a matter that don't, in a small matter that doesn't matter in the greater scheme of things, it's like, what for, man? Go ahead,
Right, that's not even being over-righteous, that's being self-righteous. You're being self-righteous in your own cause. Like, you're going to go out of your way to reprove a brother on such a minute matter. That isn't even an issue. But going back to, unless one of y'all had another precept on hold, I was going to go back to James.
Go ahead,
Matthew 12 and 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. That's why we gotta watch what we say, man. Because if you speaking against those that may have been elected, man, and you cause an offense, that's why I try not to offend the brother. I don't know who's part of the elect. And I don't want to offend none of these little ones. So I don't want to be rash with my speech. And you know what I'm saying? Even when you find out that you are, and you apologize, somebody can sense whether you're sincere about something.
That's why I say a brother is harder to win back. It's hard to win back, man.
This is James 3 and verse 6. Yeah, verse 6. And the tongue is a fire and a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell. For every kind of beast, and of birds, and of serpents, and of things in the sea is tamed, and have been tamed of mankind. But the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison.
So wait, you can't sit there and say that you don't offend. All right? Because one thing you gotta understand is when you offend against a brother, all right, a brother's not gonna sit back and remember every offense that you've done to him because we've forgiven you 77 upon 7 times. All right, it's when it gets to a point where it's a problem that hey, we start marking those that cause division. All right, once that's go ahead.
Yeah, that's when it's a problem. Once it started causing a division, Death by 1,000 cuts, man.
Well, you cut a person in the same place 1,000 times, just as bad as a katana cut.
Current.
1 Peter 2:16, as free and using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness. Let's start up further. Like, all right, this is 1 Peter 2 and put this on as ignorance. All right, this is 1 Peter 2 and 15. For so is the will of Yahweh that that with well doing we may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men. All right, because we don't want to sound ignorant in any situation.
All right.
Because if whether a person can present proof to you or not, you need to examine yourself before you speak rationally.
Right.
And consider, what it say, consider that you may have done this thing or you may not have done this thing.
Right.
All right. And I ain't talking about like taking a day of atonement like fast for this thing. You see what I'm saying? Because what came to you? Did the Spirit come to you? Did the Spirit come to you and say, brother, you have not done this thing? Or you just took a day of atonement fast or fast for something and in the end you come out all as the same man? That's the question. What did you take from it? How was the justification brought by your eyes? You got to stop and you got to pay attention more deeply because our discernment is being exercised every day. And if this is an exercise to your discernment, you used to exercising your bodily flesh much, but not your spirit, then there's things that you're going to miss. You can't approach something, well, yeah, I'm good at riding bicycles, so I can do all kinds of stunts and shit. So I know I get on a motorcycle and tear this bitch up. That's not the same thing, man. You can approach this with the same diligence as you do with something that you do on the flesh, but you got to learn the rules and examine yourself further because it's not the same. You understand?
I got Sirach 34 and 23. This is Sirach 34 and 23. When one buildeth and another pulleth down, what profit have they then but labor? When one prayeth and another curseth, whose voice will the Lord hear? He that washes himself after touching a dead body, if he touch it again, what availeth his washing? So is it with a man that fasteth for his sins and goeth again and doeth the same. Who will hear his prayer, or what doth his humbling profit him? You know?
So, you go in, you fast for something, right? And then you go on and repeat the matter in a different way. What was the point of you fasting and humbling yourself? Because obviously you didn't comprehend something that was before you.
Yeah, you didn't learn. You know? So now you did it again and you still didn't learn, you know what I'm saying? So what did your humbling profit you, you know?
Nothing.
I mean, you know, like I say, this lesson is basically about bridling your tongue, man. Watching what you say before you say it.
I got a little bit more on that first.
So like out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. If something was already brought to your attention in that matter, and if you couldn't receive it at that time and you prayed on it, and yet you still have some contentment about it, then yeah, maybe you should go talk to one of the brothers about the situation or the matter. But if it's already been settled, it's been settled.
We'll talk to the men that you offended together with. Continuing on in 1 Peter 2 and 16, as free and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as a servant of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Honor all men, love the brotherhood, and fear Yahweh. Honor the king. Alright? So, if you have, consider things, man. Take your time out and consider some of the things that you may have said or done. And a lot of things you're not going to remember, but it can't always be everybody else, man. You got 2, 3, 4, 5 people feeling a certain way or trying to tell you the same goddamn thing. Are they all wrong? Examine that, man, before you speak on it and get defensive or what have you. And even if you examine it and you still can't, and you come to the same conclusion, go to those ones that you offended and find out even deeper. And if you still can't see it, you need to fast and pray to the Most High. And even at the end of that, don't be like, well, I did it and I'm just. No, man. Because even though you do that, it might be a little time before you find out the answer. But in the end, you got to stop and look outside yourself. It can't be everybody else but you.
All right.
Same. I had to figure that out for myself.
All right. This is 1 Peter 2:19. For this is thankworthy. If a man for conscience toward Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai endure grief, suffering wrongly. Hey, that's thankworthy. For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable unto the Most High, man. You know. So shit, hey, and when you're not watching your tongue, you're not suffering wrongfully. But let's say you are watching your tongue and everything, and you suffering things still, man, and you know that you're in the right. Hey, it's thankworthy unto the Most High to suffer it wrongfully, you know, because the Lord is fighting for us anyway, man. And you don't want to be on the proud end of things, man. You don't want to do that. So, you know, bridle your tongue, watch your speech. Any of y'all brothers got anything else?
I think
That sums it up. All right. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Ratazah, you brothers was edified. All praise and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Daban, Bashem, Rakah, Kodash, Daban to the apostles, a great millstone, honors and salutations to you brothers doing the work in truth and sincerity. Till next time, Shalom.
Shalom.